Good morning and welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. We are here for another read aloud and we are going to jump right in and get started. I am super excited about this one. This one is special. This one is very special because my friend has written a book, and let me just give you a little quick backstory. Not even a backstory. So I just received the book on Monday and I hadn't read it. And so usually I just do a cold read of books sometimes. Sometimes they're books that I've read, years ago, and I remember the story. So I just kind of get on here and read. But this one, something told me, you know what? You better read this book before you record your read aloud. And oh my God, I'm so glad I did. The book is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It is inspiring. And I have to say, I'm glad I read it off camera because I think I shed a tear while I was reading it. It is an amazing, amazing book. And I'll have some information regarding purchase after I have finished reading. So it is called I Am a Triathlete. And it is written by my friend Nia Obotiet and illustrated by Adriel Mika. I hope I said all of those names correctly. So I have to tell you that Nia actually was the person who inspired me to participate in my one and only triathlon. What is a triathlon? Well, it is, I have visuals. There's 3 different parts of a triathlon. You swim, it's the first thing you do. And then you bike. And then you run. Now let me tell you, Nia has done this 6 different times. Miss Justice has only done it 1 time, and it was difficult. It was very difficult, but it was one of those things where, wow, I feel so accomplished that I was able to do it and get through it. And so one of the things about this book as I was reading it is everything that she said in here, exactly what I was feeling as I was going through the training process. And like I said, she has done 6 of these, so she is definitely an expert. So let's get into it. I am a triathlete. Look, I have her autograph. How exciting! Reading was something Naya really enjoyed. She would choose printed books over digital toys. Comfy and cozy in her favorite nook, Naya was often surrounded by so many books. Treasuring the smell of a new book in her hands, she would often start reading and forget she made plans. We're really going to get into these illustrations because they're wonderful. And yes, it's Naya and not Nia. I know Nia is our author, but in the story, it says Naya. And I love that she's choosing reading books over digital games. We love that. The library was where Naya spent most of her time. Each book that she read would help her sharpen her mind. That's where she first saw it, written in bold, on bright colored paper, tucked in a book's fold. One sheet of paper with edges a bit frayed. Naya started to read it, but what did it say? Come swim, come bike, come run. A triathlon is so much fun. She paused for a moment and started to think, what if I try something new? She said with a wink. So you swim first, you bike, and then you run. And there she is thinking about a triathlon. This could be interesting. Dozens of thoughts went through Naya's head, but then she remembered all the stories she'd read. Tales that had challenges and poems about pain, stories filled with courage, and some filled with gain. A triathlon could be difficult. Oh yeah. She could try and then fail. So Naya took a deep breath and some time to exhale. Determination, excitement, anticipation, curiosity, hopeful, fear, certain, anxiety, reflection, uncertain, empowered. A click of her phone, and there was the sight. She would talk with her family and sign up that night. She scoured the internet and checked out some books. She came across a video she could not overlook. This inspirational video planted a seed and reflected the pressure we all feel to succeed. The more Naya watched, the more she learned that courage is not given. It is only earned. If she trained and prepared, there would be no reason to despair. She could define what is success by showing up and doing her best. Naya checked her calendar and made a plan. The very next day, her training began. Soon that excitement turned into regret when she fell off her bike and got very upset. She wasn't even sure she wanted to try anymore. Every day that she trained, her muscles were sore. Very true. Pushing past her aches and her pains to become an athlete, Naya got back on her bike the very next week. A triathlon includes 3 parts, not just one. She still needed to train for the swim and the run. So she got back on that bike and she kept training. Each step of her training made her feel so alive as she started enjoying being outside. Sometimes she would walk, sometimes she would run, but she just kept on moving as each mile was done. Naya practiced transitioning from her bike to the run, improving her time as she practiced each one. And we especially love this picture. I'm going to get real close so that you can see Black Girls Run. Yes, love that shirt. Naya thought of the video about being her best, that if she kept training, she'd soon see progress. But training to swim did not come with ease. The thought of drowning made her weak at the knees. She sat at the edge with tears in her eyes, trying her very best not to cry. No, she said with new determination, I won't let this challenge steal my motivation. I won't stop until I am done. I will practice really hard. I will overcome. And for me, that swimming was the hardest part. And there she is. She is gonna do it. Weeks went by as her training increased. Just thinking of the triathlon made her heart skip a beat. The day of the triathlon, it was quite a busy scene as everyone gathered to organize their things. Naya took a deep breath to help calm her fears and carefully set up about preparing her gear. That's all the different gear that you need. Preparing to swim, to bike, and then to run. Ready, set, go! Naya took off in stride, determined to leave all her fears far behind. First the swim, then the bike, and finally the run. Naya was close to the finish line. Her challenge was nearly done. Crossing the finish line filled Naya with pride. Just remembering when she started the race, she felt terrified. As she looked at her medal, she started to say, if I put my mind to it, I can find a way. Today I am a triathlete. Tomorrow, who knows? Maybe one day I will challenge the pros. Nothing compared to the medal in her hand as she thought about all of the hardships she had to withstand. Yay! Naya thought about the mornings she had to get up and train, sometimes having to run in the rain. Yes. Naya thought about what happens when you have the will to try something new and increase your skills. Naya had spent weeks in the pool and time in the gym just to conquer her fear to swim. Naya pulled out her phone and reflected on the day. She hit record and started to say, weeks ago, I would never believe that being a triathlete was something I could achieve. All of my planning and reading of books, scouring the internet, and the labor it took. As I look at my medal, what a success, simply by showing up and doing my best. Never underestimate how your life might unfold when you try something different, something really bold. Change only happens when you try and explore, by saying yes to adventure when it knocks on your door. Naya shared the video. She was surprised as it soared, but it gave her an idea that she really adored. Having learned firsthand of the effort it took, Naya was inspired to write her own swim, bike, run book. The end. Ah, oh, what an amazing book. I loved it. All right, so something to think about. What or who motivates and inspires you? What or who motivates and inspires you? Is it a person? Is it a goal? Is it something financial? Is it the feeling of the success of actually doing it? But think about, what is it that inspires you to do your very best? C for proud, MPS proud.